What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always college football related, sports related. We have a good time. I need to take my hair down because we about to get into it just a little bit. Now, this is a preview of the #1 ranked show, which will be live tonight at midnight Eastern time. So find the live stream here. Click, set the reminder. We will go through the day's games, and there's already been some moving and shaking. Some unranked teams have upset some ranked teams, but I know that there's a huge Oklahoma following on this channel, and I kind of want to serve that following and, you know, never forget where you're from, right? You never forget where you're from. Oklahoma barely holds on to beat Nebraska 23-16. Positives. All right. You got some really good play from the defensive line. Nick Benito was absolutely just a man out there. You got an outstanding play from DJ Graham after he gave up a big play. And I've seen that play made before, the DJ Graham made with the interception, but I've only seen it in an X-Men cartoon. Like, it's the kind of play that throws backs out by osmosis, quite frankly. And to those of y'all saying my man should have dropped the pass because it set up the Nebraska TD, what is wrong with you? How can you say that? The man took away the ball. If the offense can't move the football, that ain't his fault. What are you talking about? Get out of my face. No, DJ, outstanding play. Might be the best interception we've seen in the last decade. Like, it's up there for debate right now. Outstanding. Rattler, 19-25, 1 TD and a pick. Or excuse me, no, that was Adrian Martinez. Rattler is 24 of 34, 214 and a TD. So now you got both of those quarterbacks. But the point here is, I think we are beginning to see that Spencer Rattler is not 2017 Baker Mayfield like we all thought he would be. He's 2015 Baker Mayfield. And that makes a lot of sense, quite frankly, because when we first saw Baker, he was at Texas Tech. He has that year, and he shows up, takes the job, gets a big win against Tennessee, doesn't give the job up. But he also has the benefit of staying for 2016, 2017 before going to get drafted. I don't think that's going to be on the table for Spencer, though I'm beginning to believe it's probably what's best for the maturity of his career, which means that he'll get drafted in the first round next year, and hopefully somebody makes him hold a clipboard because he's still processing the game. He's still forcing some throws. He's still figuring out what he's good at and what he's not. Man's got as much wiggle as Alex Ross. Those of y'all that understand that. But it's also, it's not that he's good, because he's not. He's talented. And there's a big difference here, right? I can't teach you to be 6'6", 260. That's called talent. I can teach you to be a better football player, right? So when you see Spencer Rattler throw the football with that jet engine of an arm, you see everything that's there, and you see him working through. But there are sometimes when I'm watching the game, like you go, what are you looking at, man? Like, I just need to know. And that's what Lincoln Riley's trying to get out, and you're trying to get all that out while trying to keep a perfect record, because that is what Oklahoma gets to hold on to. Hadn't really played anybody, but it is 3-0. And you know my rule, survive and advance. So he's 2015 Baker. He's not 2017 Baker. Can he make that leap over the next 9 games? We'll see, but I'm not counting on it, which is why I'm coming back to you need to run the football more, right? Kennedy Brooks had all of 14 carries for 75 yards. Oklahoma ran the ball for 194 yards on the ground. It was a tremendous factor. Give Eric Gray and Kennedy Brooks the opportunity to help Spencer out. Let him get into these situations where you can work a play action pass, all right? It's that important. It's that crucial. All right. Negatives. If Nebraska does not give you penalties on the offensive line particularly, but 8 for 70, where you had 7 for 69, this is probably a different game. If Pat Fields does not pick that ball up and run it back for the 2 points, we're not just looking at a one-score game. We're looking at a game that Nebraska had a chance to win at the end. And again, it's this Nebraska. It's a Nebraska team that lost to an Illinois team that I watched get boat raced by Virginia and lose to Maryland on Friday night. They ain't very good. They lose to Texas San Antonio, all right? You're supposed to beat this team 73-0, not be 7-3 at halftime, which leads me to this. Oklahoma 100% has a second half football problem, okay? In 2020, Oklahoma led K-State 21-7 at half and lost 38-35. Also in 2020, it led Iowa State 17-6.5 and lost 37-30. Also in 2020, led Iowa State 24-7 at half in the Big 12 title game, won that game 27-21, led Tulane earlier this year 37-14, barely holds on to win 40-35 in a game where Tulane had an opportunity to win this thing at the end. And of course today, Nebraska, you lead them 7-3 at half and you barely hold on to beat them 23-16. This is an Oklahoma team that I expect to put up 45 a game. Didn't look anything like it. Which leads me to this. Oklahoma may well win its 7th straight Big 12 championship. Oklahoma might get past K-State, Texas Christian, Oklahoma State, Texas. You know, it's Big 12 schedule. Iowa State in there. West Virginia looked really good against Vatech today. But this is a 2015 Oklahoma team now, man. Like, I've gone from thinking that Oklahoma's going to win the national championship to feeling like they're going to get the 4th spot again and get boat raced by Bama. Like, some got to give here. Some got to give. You got to start thinking about this a little bit differently. Like, I get that Lincoln's a really great play caller, but he's also the head coach. He's also the quarterback's coach. Starting to think he misses a Shane Beamer, right? Who would help him with these sorts of decisions that need to be made. And then if your defense is going to give up 289 passing yards to Adrian Martinez, and you're also going to give up 46 rush yards, so over 300 yards of offense to Adrian Martinez, who you sacked 5 times and you got picked off, you got a problem here. Because Nebraska showed up thinking that they could Big Ten you. And that's exactly what they did. They were mashing, all right? And the speed D looked like it was getting blown back. You know what I mean? These are things that are fixable, and I expect Alex Grinch and Lincoln Riley to get back in the lab. But again, 3-0 is 3-0, and as bad as things might be, Oklahoma has never lost to Montana. Deuces.